ya Bat Bunch! Hey ya new friends! We are here for another episode of VTuber Roundtable. It's been a hot minute since VTuber Roundtable, but
Been like years, I think.
yeah, it's been since 2024. But my dear friend to the left of me, Kenisu, VTuber expert and good friend Kenisu, is hosting a GoFundMe for a very, very important cause. So we, as friends, have all kind of gathered around. We all share in common that we all do some sort of commentary, news, or analysis content on VTubers. So you've got basically a table full of experts on VTubing here to answer your questions tonight. The main caveat here is we ask that you donate any amount to Kenisu's GoFundMe. You can use the link that is pinned above on chat, or you can use the QR code in the corner. And once we receive your donation, we will be happy to answer your question. So yeah, why don't we go around introducing ourselves, and I guess we could go from left to right. So
Stage left?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Sure, Okus, you go first. Okus, great.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank God! I thought it was me.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would have been. That's all right. Hi, I'm Okus. I'm the Coyote VTuber. I'm very tired. But I, you know me probably. I make gameplay Sonic. That's basically my professional endeavor, and I do retro console games and video essays. But today I'm simply here as an expert in being a tiny indie VTuber. Hello, everybody.
Thank you, Okus.
Hello. Yes, we can all say hello like it's a meeting.
The minutes from last time. That was what was that last time?
VTubers Anonymous meeting.
Yeah, exactly. VA.
There you go. That should be the
Oh,
yeah.
VTA.
yeah, we're VAs. Makes more sense.
It's been 3 days since I commissioned art.
I thought you were about to start singing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you saw what I thought.
All right. Well, since I'm on your head, I guess that means that I'm also on this side of the introduction scale. So, hello. I'm Grybach, a digital vampire, and I make all sorts of stuff. I do a lot of gaming, but on the general VTubing side of things, I have a satire news shorts series that is about real news, but usually poking fun at it a little bit, or poking fun at the industry or industry trends or whatnot, frequently about the major agencies and or Twitch and YouTube in general, with the highly logical and reasonable decisions that they have. And every once in a while I do little tech tutorials as well. And I have a lot of opinions on a lot of things, but I haven't made a lot of videos about that yet.
I can attest that Gry knows a lot about tech, so
He's a digital vampire after all.
yeah, digital
Man,
vampire.
Grybach be on
let's
that
go.
for sure.
Vampire and a satire? That's like two kinds of mythology at one.
It even rhymes, kind of.
All right, Static.
I'm just a guy with a snake on YouTube. I talk about stuff, usually things that I don't see other people really talk about much. Or it's just something I had an opinion on, which usually kind of gets me in trouble sometimes, but it is what it is. And then I stream sometimes. I'm very bad at it. I just kind of press go live and then I just wing it. But it is what it is, and that's kind of all I do.
I if you don't know Static Tokyo, please go check out his videos. They're amazing and awesome, and oh my gosh,
What an editing maestro.
he's got such great points, guys. Please go check him out. Also, funny editing, yes, funny editing indeed. All right, Shog, you're up. On my head.
Okay. Hi, folks. I'm Shag Mommy, your local just tentacle monster sea slug. I cover topical information, VTuber shenanigans, and things that are pertinent to the space. I'm also an Irium streamer. I go by Dahlia Grim there. And stream-wise, I primarily build Gunpla or play cozy games.
Yeah, Dahlia just had a debut on Irium today. So if you guys use Irium, which is a VTuber mobile app, please go check out Dahlia Grim on that app. Oh my gosh, I attended the debut. It was so much fun. Shog has a lot of acting chops, so you're in for a treat for sure. All right. Man of the hour, Kanisu. Kenny, please introduce yourself. And if you want to say
Hey.
anything about your GoFundMe, go on ahead.
Sure. So, hey, I'm Kanisu. I do like VTuber commentary. Mainly been a bit of a V-tweeter recently, because I haven't been uploading or going live, but I generally do commentary on like a variety of topics in the VTuber space, on agencies and things like that. The GoFundMe is set up to help me with a very struggling financial situation after getting laid off from 2 jobs recently, which has been pretty stressful. So the GoFundMe is to help me with avoiding a bit of homelessness situation.
Yeah.
But hopefully, yeah, I can figure out things, and I really appreciate any support I get.
Yeah. So guys, again, link pinned on whatever stream site you're using. The link to donate is pinned there. If you use that link, you'll get an alert up in the top left corner here, and then you can ask us anything after your donation in chat, and we will be answering questions in just a second here. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, Kenny has been really helping me behind the scenes with all kinds of things on my channel. Kenny's truly like a jack of all trades. If you guys remember my fantastic merch drop that I barely had to lift a finger for, Kenny handled all of that for me. And it turned out fantastic. He runs an entire, merch site for VTubers called Otakuban, and gives VTubers like me the opportunity to have a merch drop, even with some international shipping, which is something that a VTuber of my size usually cannot do. He's also been working on my thumbnails. He's been giving me tons of advice. So please, if you like what I do on my channel, please support Kenny so he can support me. And last but not least, we have Pandora.
I'm so glad we did not do a normal left on my screen. Instead, we did stage left. That way, at least I get a bit of a template to follow for this, because I did not come prepared with an elevator pitch. So I was in Notepad while everybody else was talking, going, yes, I should say that.
Don't worry, I was too.
Yeah, I was thinking about
good.
that as well.
Wonderful. Great minds. But I wrote down a few adjectives. All of them end in AL for some reason. I am philosophical, technical, instructional, and educational VTuber. It kind of describes my channel as best as I can in a couple minutes. I did also just wrap up the 2024 VTuber census, which I hosted a live stream with Depressed Nusagi. Went about 3.5 hours, and I'm currently chopping it up into better bite-sized digestible videos. I have the next 2 already chopped up and ready to go. The next one should drop Monday.
Yeah, that was an awesome project. I definitely enjoyed watching the VOD of that. VTuber Census is a really worthwhile cause, so please, guys, check out Pandora, check out that project. It's really, really cool to get to see more demographics about VTubers specifically, because Twitch and YouTube does not give us VTuber-specific demographics. Pandora's also an awesome artist, guys. Like, I mean, look at her design; it's adorable. So yeah, we've really got a full house full of really talented people out here tonight, ready to answer any of your questions. Didn't. Yeah. Okay, so we already have 2 questions that were prepared. Let me grab those for you guys. And if
Someone should draw Donatius as an actual mascot.
And if I see any more questions in the chat, guys, I will be sure to grab them. Please be sure to donate any little amount to Kenny's GoFundMe if you can. Even if you don't want to ask a question, donations are very welcome. And if you want to ask a question, if you just want to scan the QR code or click the link, and then after we get that donation, we'll be sure to get to your question. So thank you everyone who's out here attending. All right, here is our first question. Miri asks us, are there any unreleased video or stream ideas that you've had that you are really passionate about and want to make in the future? So future content ideas is the name of the game here. I guess we can go in the same order. Okis, what do you have here for the future for your?
Future is a funny word because it's more like a Mobius strip connecting past, present, and future. Oh, it's like Sonic 06. Yeah, you like that reference, right? Yeah. Well, it's funny because like I don't know, probably 70% of my video ideas are unfinished video ideas, but most of them remain unfinished because I end up not being that passionate about them at all. There's one. I don't know if I should talk about it because it's going to be one of those videos that is a just for me topic for sure. I'm just like I have a list of like plausible ones that are just going to be anime analysis videos and stuff like that. But then there's this one that has grown to more than a dozen pages, and I want to make it eventually, but I just simply don't know if it's even well, I know correction, I know it's not a good idea. I know it doesn't make any sense in this earth, but it's a topic that will bring light to my ever ossifying heart. So it's about a very obscure cultural phenomenon, I can say that. That doesn't narrow it down too much, but if you've seen any of my past overlong videos, it'll be like that. Otherwise, I have I'm determined to get back in the swing. I went sicko mode the last month making a rapid fire series of videos, so I've been making sure to take a writing and filming break, but now I'm going to get back into it soon, I think. It'll be quote unquote special interest. Now that makes it sound worse. Whatever. Oh my god.
What is it, Okis?
It'll just be
feet and why we love them.
There's
why are you exploding?
Bro is stuttering his ass off.
I'm trying to phrase it.
Do you want us to get back to you, Okis?
But my diplomacy is making it sound worse. I'm really bad at diplomacy, is what I've discovered. Well, let's just leave it at I would like to talk about the animations and graphic novels that have been formative to my current cultural vocabulary.
Okay. Hi, readers. Thank you, Mara, for the raid. Nice to see you, everyone. We are doing a benefit stream for my friend Kenny, who keeps things running behind the scenes. If you guys donate to his GoFundMe, you can ask this table of expert VTubers, Okis included, apparently.
Apparently. I just got lit up. Oh my goodness. This is
you
is
can
an effigy
ask
burning
us any
stream now.
question. Yes.
Any question. Wow,
Yeah,
I haven't seen
any
this much
question.
sub and sent. Never mind. I'm gonna give it.
We can
yo.
answer how much we want to answer, but you can ask us any question. Okay, after Okis had a stroke,
Yay!
Greg, do you have any plans for the future?
Is that gonna be the name of your next video after I had a stroke? No.
Yeah, weren't you talking about wanting to do a golf stream?
What?
Ooh,
No?
I have a couple that I've been thinking about doing, but I am something of an overthinker about certain types of things, and so I still don't have a clear identity for my channel in terms of the types of videos that I make. And so part of what's holding me back is not wanting to try and start too many things of too many different types and or lean into types of videos that I really am not going to create very many of, because I think getting to the experts of VTubing and or algorithms, I think most of us are probably somewhat familiar with how the algorithms want you to pigeonhole yourself. So that's sort of the reason I haven't done a couple of these, but the one that's probably the most likely to get made is that I am working on a 2.0 model. That's like a pretty big redesign, and so I wanted to make like a comprehensive video of walking through the full process for people that haven't commissioned a model yet, to sort of show the whole, okay, this is what I was mood boarding, this is what I sent off to my artist, this is what they returned back to me. Then I, went and found the model artist, and that, and sort of do like a comprehensive thing that's also maybe quasi vlog style as the process gets, moving along the way.
Mhm.
So that's like something I'm currently thinking about doing, but I'm currently in the design phase, so I'm still early enough in the process that it's going to be a ways out before that would get made.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the common thread here. That a lot of content ideas get like kind of thrown to the wayside either because of life or because it's just like, when am I gonna do this? That's me too.
Or I just
Or
have
like-
like
or like-
one idea I like and it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, or if it's like you want to do something experimental, but then you also kind of know that something experimental is highly unlikely if it's completely out of the wheelhouse of the normal content that you make,
Yep.
then it's probably going to get buried and dumpstered by the algorithm. So then you either make it and it doesn't go anywhere, or you just don't make it because you're like,
For me, I have just decided to purely make whatever I want to make, and if it gets algorithmed, it gets algorithmed. However, ever since I decided to be a hobbyist, I've had like 10 times the fun with every content idea and maybe 1/10 of the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's relatable.
that is how it is.
That algorithm Chan is Totemo Tsundere.
Totemo. Yeah.
Tsundere.
All right, anyone else want to answer this question? I probably shouldn't go down the line for all of them. Probably just if someone really has anything they want to say.
Yeah, I suppose I'll go. So I'm just, aside from continuing like topical news stuff and whatnot, I'm gonna be doing a Nipper review for Gunpla.
Nice.
So basically going over like how the specific cutters work, and then ASMR I can finally do it again now that I'm on Ethereum because of the YouTube hates everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been rough.
For those of you who are coming in late, Shog had her debut on Ethereum, which is a VTuber app called, or her character there is Dahlia Grimm, if you want to look it up. And Ethereum is a VTuber specific app. And they allow ASMR content, so she's making her return to ASMR content because that avenue has opened up for her as a founding streamer for Ethereum, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, well, for me, it is going to be as long as I'm live once a week making a stream, I'm gonna be happy with myself. I don't plan that far ahead. That might be a problem, but genuinely, I just kind of feel the vibes. I'm like, what do I want to do today? Do I want a game or do do I want to talk about a topic? And that's been going really well for me, like enjoyment wise. My viewers are just along for the ride. They can take it or leave it, but enjoyment wise, I've really been enjoying it so far. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. Sounds good. Always nice to just do what you want to do, you feel?
Yeah.
You
I will
gotta
say,
ice the
though-
fevered content brain.
I will say though, like, because before I was kind of known as the person that did short videos, like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
Mm.
and I recently did one that was almost an hour long, and
Wow.
that video did really well.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
watched
wow.
that. It was really good.
Yeah,
It was really
like,
good.
I was like, oh, okay, I guess I can do that then. So I guess I'm
My-
gonna do that a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
should.
And then I want to stream way more too. I actually end up I like streaming now. That shit's so ass. Dog. I didn't want to fall into it, and then I did.
Yeah.
Can't stay out of the life.
Yeah. It's just so much easier to go live and talk about a topic than have to like think about like how to structure it. Now I just like to ramble about things instead of actually write paragraphs out. So I just ramble and it turns into like a 3-hour kind of weird thing, but my audience watches it and I'm very grateful that I can just kind of go live and talk about topics. Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Paragraphs are overrated.
True.
On with the VTuber filibuster.
Anyone
Yeah,
else want to
so-
go? Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 videos that I've thought of making. One more in the commentary realm was like talking about like why some people can be canceled because I followed a lot of drama in my day. I've noticed sometimes
Yeah.
the cancellation doesn't work out as people plan. That's been something that's been on like my back burner forever.
Yeah, my goodness. 2024 was like the drag people in the streets year that I've like the most drag people in the streets, like
Yeah, it cuts it out.
Coliseum style like slaughtering that I've seen on the internet. It
I
was
don't even want to look at Google
nuts.
Docs anymore, honestly.
It was the hippodrome year for sure.
I think I've read literally over 100 docs, and one of them was on me.
Crazy.
And I was like, bro, this is out of hand.
Oh my gosh, it was a bloodbath.
It was the blues and the greens. We had straight up Trebonium in the streets.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
It was so yeah, Kenny, that is a very wanted video. The crazy thing to me about people getting canceled specifically is that I've noticed that if you're big enough, it doesn't matter, but if you're small, it's the end.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think the other video I wanted to make more in a personal sort of anime realm was I've been wanting to make for like ages now since the movie is supposed to come out for it soon, whenever that is going to be. But Madoka Magica, like a big analysis video on that. I love that series.
Ooh.
Baby!
I love that series.
Do it.
So good.
Oh my gosh, I love Madoka.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was so happy when I saw the VTuber Symphony do the Madoka Magica thing. I was like, oh my god.
are you in the Homura did nothing wrong camp?
You know, I'm still debating that one to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are 2 videos I've been sort of that one to make the most is probably those 2.
I think when you guys talk about wanting to do things on anime, I get really excited because it's kind of weird that VTubers haven't really become anime video essayists, which is crazy to me. That just seems like the pipeline, right?
Yeah,
You become
Yeah.
anime girl and then you talk about anime. That seems like it would be way bigger of a genre, but it's really slept on.
Seems like more of an Ouroboros than a pipeline, but yeah.
I feel like part of the
Yeah.
problem with that though is that like the anime essayist subculture has also contracted a lot since it really had its heyday in the 2010s, and I feel like
Oh.
it's kind of pulled back a lot just in general.
I see.
Even
My
the big
favorites are
channels
dead.
have like yeah, I was gonna say they either don't make it or they moved on to something that isn't anime. So they got known for anime, but like
Yeah.
say Trash Taste. Like,
Steak
Trash Taste
Bank-
literally doesn't talk about anime, even though their kind of whole thing was like, hey, we got anime YouTubers together.
They
so,
had a
like,
VTuber on there once, and they cured them. They cured them of their madness. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay. There's also this kind of like weird disconnect I've noticed. Like, it's nothing necessarily like I don't know what it is, but I've seen a lot of like kind of anti stuff against VTubers from some anime fans.
true also.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea.
It's new, you know, the old guard. They don't like this new crap.
Grognard.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I suspect there's like a level of you're not one of us, you're one of the jumping on the new trend, you know, so like it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter what your opinions are or the fact that you have been in that community silently. They sort of view you as somebody else that's butting in.
That's
You don't know the Suzumiya dance.
Oh, I
Get behind
do.
me.
I do.
Bad.
I don't have full body tracking. If
Yeah.
I had 3D tracking, I'd just stand up right now with Shog on my head and start dancing.
What a meme! What a meme!
Okay.
Yeah, even Steak Bankley has only done like 2 videos in the last 5 years, and they were both about the Venture Brothers. On the other hand, maybe that means the market is newly vacated. Maybe there's
It's
room.
ready for a new one.
Yeah. I do know one VTuber that does it though, but they're relatively new.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their name is Yuki, and they don't just talk about, they talk about anime, manhwa, manga. They do all that.
We should
Oh.
talk about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh no.
I actually don't know.
Ocus, don't give me ideas.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's dangerous. I should
That's
stop.
dangerous. Oh, you know what I should do?
Well, I
I should
almost
do
unleashed.
a tier list of the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist designs.
I think another reason is because when you're looking at anime, most episodes are anywhere between 12 and 26. That's a lot of time for like VTubers to like spend specifically on something that long.
That's true.
Yeah, I need to. It's almost like doing homework because I've been
Yeah.
catching up.
Yeah.
And you know how much of a slog it was getting through the Endless 8 arc? Oh my god! But I watched it.
Yeah, there are VTuber like anime reactors, which is I feel like that's also almost taking some space out of the essayist side of things because it's not really the same, but it's like
Yeah.
a way to incorporate the time commitment of actually watching it and then
Yeah.
commenting on it live.
Mm,
Which also
Yeah,
I think live streaming in general has taken a big hit out of the video essayist space for the same reason that it's a
It's-
lot easier and less structured to just sort of spit your thoughts out there live and people are there for sort of the realness of it. And
Yeah.
I
You know.
agree. Yeah.
I think like if you're gonna do a scripted video about something like that, it's kind of like you have to go beyond just review, and you have to have
Right.
kind of like some kind of larger thesis. You gotta get all erudite, analytic about your favorite waifus. You know,
Shoot, I almost want to do one now.
Yeah.
You should
just
My
show
f-
them.
do it.
Fish Girl anime blew up for some reason. That was the breadwinner of my last year.
Why
Didn't
does Horse
expect it to
Girl
be.
anime have the best animation all season?
I saw that and people were comparing it to Blue Lock. It was so funny.
So funny.
All right, I think we have exhausted this topic. Let's move on to the next question. The next question asked was, do you feel it is more important, or what do you feel is more important to a character design? Shape, language, or color? Personally, I believe that shape language is way more important. I feel like you can almost make any color palette work if you're confident enough. If that makes sense. If you
Yeah, for
wear your
sure.
color palette confidently, if you go full like rainbow explosion If you wear it confidently, you can just make it work. Shape language, on the other hand, like, I feel like you can't fake shape language. Shape language is where you're like most of the iconic part of your design comes from, in my opinion. And though I would say that like color palette is more to taste, I feel like everyone agrees that shape language is kind of like complete psychology. How do I say it?
You might not notice it, but your brain does.
Yeah. Do we
Yeah.
put questions in chat? So the way you ask a question through this Q&A is I ask that you donate any amount to Kenny's GoFundMe above us. And once we receive your donation, you can just put a question in the chat and we will add you to the queue of questions we are answering. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Okay. Does anyone else want to answer that question? How you feel about shape language versus color, and which one's more important to a VTuber design?
I have an
Duodeca
asterisk.
hedge run is hard. What? Asterisk.
I
Oh.
I agree with what you said. I would say that like the one thing that I've seen debated a lot is like silhouette, and I don't think it's as important as a lot of people are weighing it, because like I do think that it helps, and I do think that you can look at people, you can look at certain VTubers at their design and you know who they are from their silhouette.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of the time, especially because most of the time VTubers are streaming from their pecs up, the real silhouette is actually much more confined and a lot more it's a lot less dramatic than say a full body shot is. And so I think that the shape language of the rest of your design, which then also informs the color choices, because like the colors conform to shapes, at least in some aspects.
Yeah.
I think that aspect is really important, but I don't ascribe to the idea that like if you have any cloak or cape or jacket that you instantly are like boring, because if you black it all out, you're a block. It's like, well, I mean, people aren't really looking at it like that, but like, yeah, I don't know. I do think that the shape is the overall like key factor though. Like you said. But.
Yeah. I would say VTuber audiences specifically, especially if you're going for like the agency kind of audience, the hierarchy then becomes attractive face, then shape language, then color palette.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with rigging too. I like rigging of your face is the most important because that's where all of your emotional expression comes in. And then like after that comes like chest and dangly things, like earrings,
dangly
hair, stuff like
things
that.
like my
I'm glad
glasses.
you clarified.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or your jackets or whatever, anything like that. And then like anything on your arms and legs is almost irrelevant. Like,
right, yeah.
Time.
And I feel like that's why we have so many like random dangly things and random hair strands that just kind of go everywhere as VTubers. It's for the rigging.
It's there for the rigging.
I'm not a traditionally trained artist. So I don't really think too much about like shape language, but I've been trying to get better, of course, as I go along as an artist. So when I'm thinking about that, like if I was black and white, you would still get the impression of what I'm going for. But if I messed my shapes up and I had maybe a more squarish jawline when I meant it to be more feminine or something like that, I couldn't get my idea across. So if I didn't get my shapes correct, or at least to match my intent, and I think that's kind of thinking back to how I started, I drew Ninja Turtles and Mario and all the things that I grew up with, and a lot of those had circles. So if I drew those with squares, they'd be totally different things. And they, like, no matter how much color I threw at it, you might get that it was a Ninja Turtle or that it was Mario, just square Mario. But if we're aiming for a specific idea, we need to have the right shapes because there's a video I was watching that showed that you can exaggerate with shapes and still get your specific ideas across. Like Gravity Falls is a good example. I
Yeah.
just watched that, rewatched that, I should say. The lumberjack dad.
Yeah.
He has a tiny head, very big, broad shoulders,
Yeah.
tiny, tiny waist. So he's a big triangle. But because his shoulders are more broad, even if you never heard the guy speak or act, you would immediately know that this is a strong dude. Just because of the shape language telling you that. You could strip all the color away again, make it all black and white, and you would still get that. But
Right.
you would never be able to really convey that with color. You can add hints to it. Like this is an angry person using the, I forgot the Inside Out. Is that the one where all the emotions are different colors?
Yes.
Yeah.
You complement your shapes with colors. So anger is red, makes sense. Sadness is blue. We have those emotional attachments to colors. So it's like going back to what was said earlier, your brain picks up on certain things. Shapes and colors have to go together, but if I'm adding a weight to them, I can accomplish way more with shapes than I can with just colors alone.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Thank you everyone who's been donating so far. We're getting a queue of questions. I'm so glad. Thank you everyone for your generosity.
you.
Yeah.
It's a regular Inquisition today.
Inquisition.
All right. So the next question that yeah. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting one because we're all different here. The next question is, how often are you guys playing a character or persona on stream versus just being yourself?
What's the difference?
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and answer this since most of the time I'm out of character when I'm streaming, and unless I'm DMing, I'm usually playing a lot of different characters usually, unless it's Irium is kind of 50-50.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Shog, I'm sorry. I keep plugging your debut, but I was just so starstruck, okay? Shog on Irium today would just like randomly slip into character, full British accent, just like perfect and everything, and just like do these character moments on her Irium debut. And I'm just like, now that is like something I could never do, but I admire it so much when VTubers are able to just like slip on a persona and make it their own. And I would like, if I did not like know Shog ahead of time, I would have thought like, oh yeah, Dahlia, yeah, she's British and she's a graceful lady. Like, oh my gosh. Like, some
But now
people
that
are
you know
so
her, you know
good.
she's not a graceful lady.
Absolutely not. Cursing all the time, sailor mouth.
I love both though, and I think that like when you're a VTuber who does a lot of characters, you have to realize like these characters are all a part of VTubers. Like, they're an aspect of the VTuber that they're showing for you. And I think that's really, really special when VTubers put extra effort into playing a character. I myself, I tried it. It was exhausting, and I could only stream for 30 minutes with my character. I used to be a water nymph named Lorelei Alto, and I had this really complicated backstory, and I had a character voice, and I would do the whole 9 yards with the character and like try and be like lore specific. I would pretend like I, you know, don't know what a PC is and stuff like that, like all for the bit, and it was just exhausting, and I hurt my throat doing character voices because I didn't study how to do it. I would just do it. Please, if you guys want to do a character voice, please, VTubers, at least look up YouTube videos. That's your bare minimum. You have to research how to do a character voice before you commit to it. Please, do not ruin your throat, okay?
I don't know any character voices, yeah.
Oh my god. Just
I
died
can
a
only-
little.
Good.
I can only be myself. I'll tell you what.
I need a damn it, Bobby now.
Dang it, Bobby, are you watching VTubers again?
It's so good.
So
Holy.
good.
That's the only one I can do, sadly. It's already
Aw.
taken.
Incredible.
Yeah. That's a good redeem, though. It's a good
That is a good redeem.
5 minutes of Hank.
Yeah.
One thing that does help a lot is if you do TTRPGs and stuff. If you do any sort of DMing, you're gonna have to do a lot of voices. So, and I've personally been role playing for over 20 years. So,
So what you're saying is it'll
The
get
same
better
game?
with practice. It'll get easier.
yeah, you have to be kind of flexible too and open-minded when you're doing it because you're not gonna always nail the voices. They're gonna sound really, really, really fucking shitty sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, oh, that sounded horrible. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, I would definitely get in my own head and get really self-conscious of the voice, especially
Yeah.
because I live with other people.
Yeah. Even if you like live with a spouse, sometimes it can feel embarrassing to do something that's like
Yeah.
that you think of as cringe, you know?
Mm.
Like just speaking from my own experience.
I
It's hard
used
enough
to
to
have,
explain the blood-curdling screams.
I used to have an uwu voice redeem for 5 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, I still have that.
I
Are
do an
people
RR,
allowed
but that's
to-
not the only one.
Can people request Ooh voice through donations? Is now what I want to know.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I can't take this shit serious.
Exactly. That's why it's so funny. That's why it's so
Oh,
funny, Static.
God.
Yeah, you just gotta lean into it full force. You're just like, yeah. Or like a nya redeem, like
Yeah.
absolutely kills people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Meow,
my
meow.
God.
Oh no. Not again. Yeah. For me, I describe it as being myself plus. So
Yeah.
I am myself, but there's definitely certain things that I wouldn't normally say even
Mhm.
to friends, just because it's like a
Exactly.
little like unhinged or a little you know, I don't know, like a little too sus for normal conversation, and I have been working on like just saying it because it's better content and because why not?
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta be unhinged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so like I definitely do sort of like character lore type things of you know, making jokes about being a digital entity and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say that I'm like in character in the way that I would be in like D&D. You know.
Another thing that kind of helps, if you just like make TikTok or shorts in character, there's like websites that have different little like fantasy scripts that you can read off, and I got a lot more confidence from doing that sort of stuff too.
Oh, that sounds like a very like good first step. Honestly, I've never heard that advice. That's awesome. For me, I have, because I've kind of retired as a full-time tryhard and I am now a hobbyist, the only thing that I keep up as a VTuber, and I recommend even if you're not going to play a character as a VTuber, the two things that are like my bare minimum is, first of all, I keep my personal life private. Second of all, I just say things for branding. Specifically, my intro and outro are the same every time. You can watch more videos about this, but I do find that intros and outros are important as a content creator in general, not just VTubers, because it gives your audience a sense of familiarity. So I just do, hey, a Bat Bunch, and take care, Bat Bunch. And that is the extent of my character, other than, of course, hiding my personal life from my audience. So yeah, like, even if you don't play a character, I do recommend you do those two things.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I generally try to be more measured and filtered in my videos when I'm discussing topics, but on Twitter I'm pretty unhinged in myself. So
Okay, well, Twitter's just a different, like, animal.
yeah,
Twitter isn't real. That's not a
I
real
like
place.
all that like filter just real quick.
Twitter can't hurt you. It's not real.
Yeah, if you die on Twitter, you don't die in real life. It is basically the adage of VTubers is it's just a way for introverts to disguise themselves as extroverts.
Oh yeah, for sure, dog.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
Because like with me, I'm not playing any character at all. Like I have I'm just embellishing myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Like even when people ask me like, "Oh, what's your fan base name?" I'm like, "I don't know, dog." And even when it comes to like what Yam said with having intros and outros, I don't. Well, I guess I have the like whole Static Tokyo glitch intro, but I don't have a scripted outro. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna eat like cheesecake or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, cheesecake.
And
Who's Static Tokyo?
Yeah.
I love your
Yeah,
intros and outros, honestly.
I do too.
I got so many. I'm trying to figure out how to use them all. I have so many now. I made the mistake and the blessing, low key, of going on Twitter and being like, "Hey, anyone want to do an intro for me?" And I got way more people wanting to do one than I thought. But yeah, I just, even with like talking in videos, I'm way louder because I'm projecting my voice more. But then when I'm like in my server chilling with like the homies and stuff, they're like, "Dog, you're like really quiet," and I'm like, "I know, I don't know what to say."
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, Static Tokyo is shy? We're learning the real?
Oh god. Leave me alone.
Do not perceive. Yes.
Am I the
Yeah.
only extroverted VTuber?
No, I'm
Probably.
extroverted as well.
Oh.
Let's go.
I gotta stay inside, dog.
Same.
You're more tesseracted, I'd argue. You kind of like you know, fourth dimensional extroversion and organization. You know, it's rare. It's a rare like combination. I've been in a lot of Discord calls where people ask if I'm sick or something. I'm like, no, that's just how I talk. Oh, because are you tired or sick? What's wrong? No, I'm just not on. I'm just not on stream.
I just want to abandon this corporeal shell.
Yeah, every syllable is a labor.
Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy and unhinged. All right.
I feel like we're pretty hinged right now.
This is
Yeah,
hinged.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
All
pretty
right.
normal. I'd be going crazy if this was my stream. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm one of those sliding doors, you know? Yeah, I don't have hinges. I went on a track.
You slam
Oh,
into
you're
the
a
wall.
A Shoji screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shoji screen. It goes back and forth between two states, Sleepy and Splatfest.
All right.
Yep,
Next
yep.
question.
Oh, and there's a Hank Hill setting, I guess. I don't know what to call that. I don't know where that fits.
Okay.
Just turns on the propane, turns off the propane.
You guys ready? All right. Here we go.
Yeah. YouTube poop quotes.
Do you all think that the digital medium that is VTubing can be used to reach greater heights? For example, is there any untapped potential having a virtual avatar? Who wants to go
Not at
off
all.
first? Who wants to go
Not at
off
all.
first?
I wanna see more people with 3D models do just like, you know, round table discussion or such. Basically, just imagine, if you will, Red Letter Media, but Rich Evans is an anime girl. That's a stratospheric height that we have not even begun to conceive of.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
There's definitely. I think. I just want. Okay, I'm a whine a little bit.
Yeah, wine.
I don't. Okay, so the reason I didn't want to get into streaming crazy is because it's sort of. I don't want to be mean. It's kind of boring when everyone's doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at
Like,
all.
you-
That's real.
you go in the
Yeah.
VTubing thing. It's like Valorant,
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals,
Reaction
Lethal
content.
Company, and then React. Yeah, and it's like, dog, I want y'all to do stuff. But lately, I've seen people get YouTube partner recently doing like different types of content as a VTuber. I'm like, okay, I want to see more of that. I want y'all to do that. Please. So I don't know. I just think, well, yeah, I get why people stream now because it is fun.
Mm.
I just think that you could do way more
Right.
with it in terms of out of gaming or reacting. Like talk about stuff, dog. Show stuff.
Yeah, I
I
think
want to see
it
more.
comes down to what your goal is as a VTuber, right? Because the people who want to make this like high effort shouldn't be just doing variety streams and game streams. You have to find, like, if you're gonna put effort into your content, if this is like something you're pursuing, not just doing as a hobby, you have to find something that makes it interesting. Like Shog, she does like a lot of really interesting gunpla, and that is not a niche that like gets tackled a lot with VTuber streams. So if you're gonna stream, you gotta make it your own, and you gotta give people a reason to watch you over someone who sorry, someone who's bigger than you doing the same thing. This sounds so like Band-Aid rip off, but you know.
You've got to plot their downfall. You need to understand their weaknesses and their fears.
If I was still doing this full time, I would for sure still be like editing videos, and I would be pushing. Be pushing the boundaries more. Now that I'm a hobbyist and I'm just doing this for fun, I do just stream, and I stream the same games as everyone else, and I kind of just ramble on stream. So like, I feel like I'm a bad example, but yes, there's so much untapped heights in the digital medium of VTubing. I feel like what's crazy is we haven't had like there's VTubing is like a big universe, but we haven't had groups doing interesting group things other than my group, of course, VTSO. I'm kidding. But a lot of the groups just do the same thing. They just copy
Minecraft server.
Yeah,
they just
Minecraft server.
Minecraft server. The same exact model design with the same exact debut with the same exact beats as everyone else, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure everyone's really burnt out on the 2020 VTuber formula. Everyone's
groups or agencies fucking closed down.
I
6 months
know.
later.
22 agencies in 2024.
That's a lot of 20s.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like Silent Hill 4.
So as an indie, if you see all these agencies closing down around you and they had more resources than you, how much worse is it going to be if you invest that same amount of money in your own VTuber like stream, being like, I'm going to be a famous VTuber, only to waste that on like doing the same thing as everyone else. I'm not saying
I want to be a Pokemon master.
I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy making content, but I'm saying you do really gotta find a unique angle that you also enjoy. And I think it's totally fine. Like if you're streaming all week, right? It's totally fine to have a mixture of unique streams and comfy, like, this is what I want to do streams. But you need something, a selling point that gets you, separates you from the crowd, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know who I've seen lately who I really like, who's kind of unique. There's this one called Naninabi. I don't know if they're anywhere but Twitter, but they do like these just little mini skits with their 3D VTuber model, and they're unhinged is the word.
3D is in itself is so untapped. I think legitimately we have so many 3D tools at our disposal, and I think people just aren't aware of them.
I think so.
Because I used to think you needed to hire a 3D modeler and then you needed full body tracking. And that is not the case. Like, if you go down the rabbit hole, you do not need any tracking to utilize a 3D model if you know what you're doing.
I 100% agree. I think that people need to branch out more than just like playing video. I've been in Gunpla for quite a few years now, and it just randomly came to me. I was like, maybe I should just do this on stream, and I've really been enjoying it. One thing I really want to do and I have not seen anybody doing this. I'm an avid hiker IRL. I want some sort of AR thing that I can actually like have my character and actually go out hiking with people where they can actually see
Ooh.
it. But I have not been
Mm.
able to figure out how to actually do anything like that.
Yeah,
More.
sort of on the note of like streamers breaking out and sort of doing like a different thing. I think a lot of like streamers, even outside of VTubing, kind of just do, like you guys said, the very typical thing of just chatting, playing the games, react content. But like I've seen the rise of like creators, especially this year and last year, like Kai Cenat, who do like really extravagant things on stream, and I think that's sort of
Mm-hmm.
makes a very clear case that like there is a craving for something more than just the typical streamer content.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even among face cam streamers, most of them are just playing the video. So there's the horizon of a new content arms race.
And the crazy
And-
part about Kai Cenat too is that he'll do these crazy things, right? But then at the core of it, he's playing a game.
Yeah.
So it's like, dog, just embellish it a little bit. Even though, granted, Kai Cenat got a lot of money. So
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone have anything else to add on this topic? The answer was a resounding yes. There's so many things. I would even love, like, you know, more people to try and like act out skits like Okus said, but also like just VR chat hangouts would be really cool. Like if you had like a 3D space that you did a talk show in, this is kind of like my dream. If I had a 3D space to do this VTuber roundtable in, that would be really cool.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
that'd be dope. That'd be, whoa, wait, we're gonna have to make that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make it happen. I think it'd be awesome.
And someone said in chat, there's Vroid stigma, and I think it comes from how wonky Vroid was in its beta. But if you guys check out
Yeah.
Vroid now, if you check out booth assets like now,
They're really good.
they're really good, guys. You guys just everyone's sleeping
People
on
pop off on Vroid.
Mhm,
Crazy.
for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely think it's less because I think the biggest like stigma was like dude in a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's 'cause-
I remember that. I'm kind of nostalgic for that now.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah. Let's see. I got
The anime
another
hoodlums.
question. Here we go. Next question. Comes from one among us.
Uh-oh.
Why do hot dogs come in packages of 10, but buns come in packages of 8? I have this problem this week. I went to Aldi and I bought bratwursts and hot dog buns, and there's 8 bratwursts and only 6 buns, and I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. There is sandwich bread. We can just like make 2. It's better than having 12 hot dog buns. It's better.
I'm sure it's a dizzyingly complex economic question, honestly. I bet there's some math reason they can't change it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's illegal if they consort with each other to have, product like synergy like that,
Chat says it's economics, and I have to agree. They're trying to make you buy more of one or the other depending on your preference.
Well, maybe there's
What's
only
endless?
so much bread you can make, and only like they can't have 2 fewer hot dogs because I don't know, some unforeseen bedlam.
Okus sounds like he secretly is the CEO of a hot dog company.
Hold
Probably
on.
is.
Bro,
Or
I-
buns.
cover.
Look, no one wants to see how the sausage is made, as they say.
Oh god.
Stir fry the
that's a good-
bratwurst with onions and peppers. Yeah, that's really good too. Yeah.
Just just eat it straight. Why?
Bro, sponsored for real.
All right, moving on. We do have a backlog. Thank you everyone so much who has donated so far. If you would like to continue our backlog of questions, we will get to every question tonight. So if you donate now, you will be 5th in the queue. Please keep the questions coming, and please, even if you don't have a question, consider consider supporting Kenny. He really makes my stream run behind the scenes. So guys, like, if you like what I do, check out the GoFundMe and see if you can donate any amount tonight. And even if you can't donate, guys, please check out Kenny's channel and watch a few of his videos, like them, subscribe, and that will help him in a less direct way, but still a big way.
Yeah, you can share the pinned tweet on my Twitter. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, or yeah, you can retweet.
Earn the title of Donatius Maximus.
All right. Here we go. Next question comes from the chat. My question is, how do you guys deal with motivation? A lot of the time, I lose motivation to stream or be active online. Okay. I just went through a really big burnout period. I have a whole video on stress-free VTubing and also on burnout. You can check my channel if you want a more like in-depth look, but basically I highly recommend keep things fresh for yourself, shake things up. If you're feeling like it's stale, try something brand new. That's like my go-to. Promise your audience less. Like, don't promise as much when you're feeling burnt out. Go live when you feel like it for a little bit. But also, if you're like on the grind and you're just really bitter about being on the grind, take that pressure off yourself and try to have fun. Like, don't worry about how good it is. Try to enjoy it. Because I feel like a lot of people burn out because they're specifically like either hard on themselves because they're not where they are in their creative journey. Like, oh man, I'm so bad at continually talking to chat. I'm so bad at making this interesting to watch. I hate my voice. I hate my voiceover. My singing is just, off pitch a lot. Take that out. Stop critiquing you. Stop critiquing yourself. Stop taking in improvement feedback and just have fun with it for a little while. And then when you feel like you've got that ball rolling again, you can start receiving feedback again. And I think that really helps.
It's one of the advantages of being a small indies. You're not pressured to perform metrically.
You're not contractually bound to streaming for
yeah. There's
40
a lot
hours a week.
As we've seen in the last year, it'll drive you crazy.
What is that voice you're doing now, Ocus?
Little Roy Brisby, I guess. I'm lapsing into the guy, Those things will kill you.
Oh my gosh.
Handley, I've come aflame. I'm just thinking of an insane man who's become a recluse to society. That just seems like that's where my brain naturally went, talking about the trials of being an indie VTuber.
I see.
But it's like even the big corpos, like we've seen plenty of graduations, and the recurring theme seems to be, again, burnout, keeping up with frequent performance metrics.
That's another thing. If you're on break, actually go on break. Go on break. That includes Twitter. Okay, I'm sorry, but like 80% of the time, if you're on Twitter a lot and then you feel burnout, guess what? It's the Twitter. It's not the stream.
And you're not even getting anything done.
No.
Say it ain't so.
That's the worst part.
You're bombarding your brain with information that is usually 9 times out of 10 useless.
It is useless. It feels
it's
useful.
less than useless, my boy.
It feels useful and like you're being deep and analytical, being like, oh, this latest drama, how do I feel about it? I promise you it's not worth it. It's not worth you losing motivation to stream.
Yeah, it's got to be like that Zen waterfall training. You just got to let it pass over your shoulders and remain undisturbed,
Water off your back.
Let not your mind be seized by flights of whimsy or whatever,
Okay, we're falling apart here. Does anyone have nothing else to add.
Or are we falling together?
Oh, okay.
We must fall together or stand apart. Something, whatever. Anyway.
Organization's going to help a lot with burnout.
Yeah.
Look into like a Bujo bullet journals and that sort of stuff.
I have invested in a product I call a shame board. It's just a basic whiteboard I keep on the wall, but I keep a list of the things I need to get done, and then I ever them, and that alone helps me keep my stuff straight.
Hey, that's
it's a shame board because I'll be shamed the longer the list gets without being addressed.
That's literally the most useful thing you've said all night, Okus.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't realize this was the 4th of July stream with all the fireworks. Because I keep getting lit up, you see.
As long as you're not getting lit on my stream, okay?
Huh? Am I going to dab?
I'm not that kind of streamer.
Is this okay?
Oh, hi,
I was gonna
Radar.
say. Whoa.
Sorry, corgi jump scare.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the kind of problem you want to have. Well, I was gonna say, incidentally, before I was viciously insulted yet again. I took a break from editing, and then I got back into, like learning my Logic X, and now that's given me a mental existential free fall, I'm ready to get back in editing. It helps if you gradually dip into more and more skill sets that catch your fancy, and then you can kind of, retreat from one and embrace the other.
Yeah,
as
rotate
needed.
your hobbies. That's another thing.
Sometimes you actually make a breakthrough and it helps with your content. Other times, you just come face to face with the mounting evidence locker of your inadequacy, and it's like sort of it's like a test. It's like the ultimate, it's like you'll come out the other end stronger. We'll see. We'll say that. We'll look at the glass half full.
Does anyone have anything else they want to say on the topic of motivation and burnout?
Yeah, I got something. I had a bad spot in my, I don't know if this is technically a career, but in my VTubing journey. And like it was at the same time I was rebranding. So what I had to do to kind of reset myself, because the more and more I worked on it, the more and more frustrated I got, the more demotivated I got. And then I really considered giving up. What helped me was not only taking that break, but using it strategically. I took a step back and I'm like, what is causing this? And I had to ask myself several questions, some of which were like, well, like, why do I feel this when I'm doing that? And to kind of give an example, my first VTuber model, kind of touching on an earlier question, was one where I thought I had to act. Because I didn't know really what VTubing was. I thought I had to act a certain way. I thought I had to make a character. And, basically it was me being not me. So I was acting all the time. And to Yam's point earlier, very exhausting. So what it really came down to is, after I asked all those inner questions of myself, is I had expectations that no one was giving me. Like, I didn't have a following. I didn't have people that were saying, we want this content from you. I had all these self-imposed things that I'd given myself, thinking that this is what's going to get me to fame. But all of them were working against me. Only when I stopped trying to be something I wasn't, and made the current self and incorporated a lot of me into it, did I feel happy? Did I feel like I was doing something that it was really me? So I think really just stepping back and asking yourself some valid questions, and some difficult questions sometimes, and then actually doing something about it. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard.
Gotta silence the inner corpo manager.
Exactly. The perfectionist needed to die a little.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Improvement is deciding which parts of yourself need to die.
Yeah.
You're the commandant, and these are your rebellious, henchmen. You line them up, throw them in the volcano one by one.
Or do so all at once.
Yep. Do it
Well,
bulk like Costco.
Well, except for the one that knows how to update NVIDIA drivers. You got to keep that guy around.
True.
Ugh.
Speaking of which, I wonder if I have to do that.
Probably. There's probably
Probably,
probably a new disaster in the last few weeks. Let's all update our NVIDIA drivers, guys. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, I was muted. People couldn't hear me because I was trying to mute
Oh.
the corgi out.
Oh,
Nah.
yam.
We're ready for the next question. All right.
We could hear you.
Kind of tangentially related to an earlier question. Chat asks, what is the most important part of VTube design? My joke answer that I gave yesterday, oh gosh, last time we were on the topic of design, was attractive face. That is the joke answer. The real answer for me is a unique concept. Why do I specifically say a unique concept? It's because as a VTuber, you're going to actually go through a lot of iterations of your model. I'm pretty sure every single person at this table has had multiple versions of models. And what you want
Yes.
is, as you're growing as a VTuber, you want to have a concept that fits you, but is also unique enough for people to remember. I would say both, like, suitable, a suitable concept with room to grow. Like, I think if you start out with like a simple Vroid and say, I guess I'm throwing Gray under the bus here. Hey, I'm a digital vampire. Like, you can have that in your bio. Your first model might not show it, other than you having like maybe like fangs or something. But as you grow and as you are able to budget more into your VTubing hobby / career, you're gonna be able to continue to iterate on that concept and get a model that is more close to what was in your head initially when you came up with the concept. So I would say, before the design itself, the concept is even more important than anything, because you're gonna have multiple models chances. Yeah.
You can get a bigger
think-
Vroid hoodie.
I think the most important thing is you're gonna have to like it. You're gonna be staring at that for hours editing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think I would push back on it a little bit, that it doesn't necessarily have to be a unique concept, but it can't be completely generic either. Like, I think that there's lots of successful people with a concept that isn't particularly novel, but people that do have very novel designs and do tend to accelerate quicker. So I would agree with that.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. I just really want to make unique concepts happen. Let me be real. I just want to make everyone feel like they're more important, because I see so many of the same VTuber VTuber concept. Not to throw any concepts under the bus and say like they're unacceptable, especially if you're like just a hobbyist. Go with whatever concept interests you, like legitimately. If you're just doing this as a hobby, just do what you want to do. You want to be a dog girl? Who cares if her corone is already a thing? Just be a dog girl. I don't care. However, if you're like trying to grow, I would implore you to try and find a more unique concept, for sure. Everything has been, pretty much every concept has been done at least once in the VTuber sphere, but not every concept has blown up. Yeah. Yeah. We've got like 20 cat girls at the top. Many
lot of pink
many
cat
with
girls.
pink hair or white hair.
The Aristotelian ideal VTuber.
Thank you for the
As the,
donation as well. Who
As
else?
this as a resident sea creature, maybe don't be a cat dolphin.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
maybe leave that one alone.
No orcats? No
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 orcats.
cat
Leave
dolphin.
that.
We're full. We're full. We don't need any more. The ocean is
Leave
full
that
of
shit
them.
alone.
Yeah.
Don't
What
touch
about a
it.
catfish?
Oh
No,
God,
actually-
please.
What
Yeah.
a catfish?
There's a lot
What
of
if you could catfish people?
though. That would be hilarious.
What about a fish
Like-
cat?
What if you were a catfish who uses a voice changer?
Oh man.
and the way I say Gunter, please. I'm so sorry for the
You
dog.
do say that a lot.
I do say Gunter, please a lot.
Yeah.
The way I mean by like unique concepts is like, okay, you want to be a cat? Find a secondary concept to combine with that. Like, let's
Like
say
an orca.
no.
Brilliant idea, yeah. That's a good one. I haven't seen that before.
Okay. Okay, lives under a
God.
rock confirmed. So like
So you should be a cat whale instead.
No.
yeah, sure. But then
I do think that there's a little bit of a risk of I think it's also really easy to go too far the other direction.
uh-huh.
Because like actually as you pointed out, there's a lot of pink-haired cat girls at
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
And there's always sort of a push and pull in any kind of product and or marketing and or whatnot of that fine line between standing out while also being something that customers are familiar with, because the fact that there are a lot of VTubers with similar concepts at the top is on the one hand means something that you're going to have a hard time competing with, but on the other hand also somewhat points to like the market liking that thing. And there's a lot of the time, not even in VTubing, just in general,
Yeah.
where something is a great idea, but it's outside enough of the norm of what people are used to that it just doesn't go anywhere and goes bankrupt. And so like I think that I've definitely seen a lot of VTubers whose concept is certainly unique,
Mhm.
but it's also so complicated or specific that you're kind of like, okay, like it sounds like you're describing your special D&D character.
Wow.
That's, you know, like, oh, I'm it's my level 3 sorcerer, level 5 paladin, level 2 oathbreaker, half dragonborn, half ganassi, like multi-class, you know, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
You know-
okay.
Mm-mm.
You know, that is why in my concepts video I say your concept has to be not a sentence, but just like descriptor, and noun, basically. That is
Yeah.
all you get. Because
Yeah.
if you can't say, like, if your whole concept's a mouthful, then you're gonna have to trim a little bit. But in your head or in your lore, you can have all that extra stuff. Like you can say,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a daring adventurer as your concept, and then you can be like, and if you want to check on my website, I've got like this 10-page novel, like mini novel of my lore for anyone who's more interested in how I got these scars and why I'm here playing video games for all of you. You know, I think that is my favorite balance, especially for like indie VTubers who cannot necessarily afford an entire lore video. I think understanding what is your concept versus what is your lore is very important to not go
Yes.
overboard, especially if you are into like D&D and roleplay and everything. It is kind of weird if you are like in character. Oh, thank you so much for the donation, everyone. If you're in character, like no one actually talks about their life history, right? I mean, maybe on the internet we do now, never mind. But, like, it's weird for a character to, like, suddenly have an aside to the audience and be like, I was raised in a family with 3 children until the tribe attacked, and then I was an only child. Like,
Full
that's...
edgelord.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what?
Fire Nation attacks.
Again, as a
Right.
hobbyist, like, you can disregard all of this. Like, if you're just having fun role-playing on the internet with a VTuber character, disregard all of this. Yeah.
My
You can...
process was just to keep adding adjectives until I felt I had enough of them.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything as I've already given my spiel of my name or what I am.
You know what? But, like, roleplay is actually part of your content, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're not setting all this up just to then play Apex for 8 hours a day, right?
No. God, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your lore and your character is actually part of your content, so you have a pass for sure. For me, it's just like I need people to like somewhat recognize my concept so that I can move on and do other things. Because I'm not really making my model part of my content other than the fact that I made it myself. Like, that's the only thing that people like really need to know, just because I'm like, hey, I'm an artist, I'm doing my art, and the model itself is free advertising for my art, I guess. Okay. Next, we're gonna skip over my question for now, just to make sure that we get to everyone's questions tonight.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how do you recommend going about building a VTuber channel that is family friendly or at least non-sexualized?
Set boundaries.
Roblox.
Minecraft. Wait, don't do that. Don't do that.
Heavy moderation.
Set boundaries 100%.
Set boundaries.
Yeah.
Ban anyone who is ruining the vibe. Anyone who is just like a little over the edge, you give them one warning. They get that one warning. If they continue or if they do it again, like even on an unrelated event, you're like, okay, you're harshing the vibes. I'm keeping it family friendly here. Oh, sorry, I skipped a step. First of all, have it in your rules, like, towards the top that we're being family-friendly, because a lot of people will come into VTuber chats assuming it is 18+, because most VTubers do stream to an adult audience. And once they are familiar with those rules and they've been warned, after that, just zero tolerance policy. All the way.
It's like prison. You gotta take out the biggest guy on your first day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Be ruthless, but then... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, I think we're probably going to say basically the same thing. Like, this is really true for any community that you're building, is just that you have to decide what your boundaries are and the vibe that you want to go for. And you could say the same thing about, like, building a fun community that's 18+, but isn't sexual or isn't lewd tubing or isn't, like I personally have had to set certain boundaries because I like to make, like sussy jokes or whatever. But for me, it's like, if you are saying it to me, like if you're hitting on me in my chat, I'm like, no, we're not here to do that. And because nobody truly knows, like, just through osmosis what the rules are anywhere. And even if you put them in the rules, most people aren't going to follow them, but it is very important to curate your social space through being consistent and having, moderation and follow through on it. And then eventually your community will start helping as you grow.
Right.
Because then your community members will be like, hey, we don't do that here.
Right.
Yeah.
I've finally reached that point where I feel like my community is like, hey, no, we do not sexualize the bat and they spray bottle the new person.
That's out you pixies go out the door through the window.
And I really appreciate that about my current audience, because it took a while to get here because I was a doormat. But the thing that changed my mind about being a doormat, and maybe the person who asked this is also a doormat, so that's why they're asking it, is if it bothers you, guess what? It's bothering your chat. It's bothering everyone else watching. You're not the only one bothered. If someone is coming to you because they like your cozy, family-friendly vibes, and then there's someone being like, wow, look at that fat dumpy on screen. Everyone, it's not just your chat.
Yeah,
It's not just you. It's everyone in your chat is going to be upset about that. I am frozen. My VTuber model froze at the funniest
Even
time.
that tepid attempt at being blue was like just so much that it couldn't handle the bandwidth.
You see what happens when you're not family friendly? Look,
It didn't
look
want
at
to
this.
lip sync me to say fat dumpy. It didn't want that to come out of
it's
Yeah,
so-
violation
mouth.
of your own rules. I'm sorry. This is your one warning.
Yeah.
That was
Exhibit A.
that was Yam like tapping into the deepest well of the most Yabai thing she could muster, and that was it.
That is as
And even
spicy as it gets.
Spicy ass milk, boys.
Let's go.
That was downright winsome in a way.
Oh my gosh.
amazing.
Radar, please. Bud. Bud, we can't do this right now. He wants love. He's crying for love.
Well, isn't that the problem we all face? Well,
One more thing I will say on the sexualization topic. Though I don't want to like shame anyone for like having a bit of cleavage or jiggle physics or anything, there is visual
I feel
cues
called out.
that you can
I
give
was
to
called out.
your audience.
hey, first time.
It won't stop everyone. Let me tell you. You know, I designed Yam specifically to be very modest. It does not stop everyone. You're gonna get
No,
weirdos
no.
no matter what. And if
It's the internet.
yeah. But it can give people a little bit of like an idea of how you like carry yourself. How you carry yourself can influence the way that your chat treats you. Now, if they're going to treat you bad no matter what, they're just going to treat you bad no matter what you look like. Okay. And no one who has like cleavage, no one who is well endowed deserves to be sexualized just because they have it. Okay? Like be good.
There's
Don't be
a
weird, dog. Don't be weird.
There's that
There's-
phrase, look respectfully, you know?
there's a thing in cosplay. It's cosplay doesn't equal consent. VTubing doesn't equal consent.
Yeah. For real.
Even if you have huge badonkadonks like one of my models do, that doesn't mean I always want to be sexualized by other people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
And-
even go as far as to say, when it comes to making boundaries with your viewers, you should also make boundaries with other VTubers as well.
Yes.
or
Oh
other
my gosh, so
people,
big.
because
For sure.
I've had
Please.
the issue where okay, so I met him one time and we were chill. And we did one stream and it was they were crazy, dog. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
gosh.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, do I talk? I got completely like I used to do community nights with my VTuber like Discord server. Back in the day, VTuber Network. If you
that's
remember what
dangerous.
that was 2020 VTubing. So Hololive Myth had not even debuted yet. That's how early this was. And I just
But
let
before
any
times.
VTuber on my stream because it was like we were such a small community. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I should just leave it open to everyone. Big issue was there was this guy who was obsessed with me and he wrote doujinshi fan fiction of me and and read it on my stream. And I had to
That-
just I was like yelling and just ended stream That was the best I
Yeah.
could do because I didn't know how to kick him out because I was really like new to VTubing. I was still a teenager.
You're almost at the
It
same
was-
level of technical ability as you are today.
Thanks, Ocus. But
You've
yeah,
learned boundaries,
Yeah.
but not me.
I learned boundaries, and you have to do not drop your guard just because someone says they're a VTuber.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you should
please
quadruple your guard, if anything.
Yeah,
true.
honestly, yeah, put your defenses up.
Yeah, just you
Oh,
gotta be a real autocrat.
that reminds me.
Mhm.
I had an issue of boundaries once.
Do tell.
I'm not going
Okay.
to go into it too deep, but
Okay.
I was
get
just
it.
streaming and I ended up randomly rating this guy, and he thought that was an open book to
Oh,
be really weird and creepy. And he stalked me for about a year.
No!
Oh,
Oh
sister.
my god.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
And I blocked him, and then he made a stream and started complaining and bitching about me on stream that I disconnected. And he found every social media. He found even my
Oh, Lord.
Facebook and was DMing me.
Oh, that's
Well-
awful.
It was crazy.
Oh,
Just because
no.
I rated him.
Oh.
Well-
that's weird.
I totally forgot about that. And he started harassing my sister. It was so strange.
Oh no. That's awful.
It sounds weird now, but it's I'm kind of now glad the worst I've had to deal with is just the occasional troll. Like, you know.
Sorry,
Yes.
Ocus.
No one's like-
but not to like
Uh-oh.
be too gender
You're not one of the trolls, yeah.
gender feminist, but
I
gender
know.
feminist.
Oh,
That's
I know why. I know why that is. But
Ocus, you get a female model, everything's gonna change.
well, maybe at 10K.
You get a
We'll see.
Vanilla the Rabbit model, and it's all over, bud.
Wait,
Oh,
we're
that
not
plus
talking
the
about.
Hank Hill voice.
Whoa. Hey, what's the topic of this collab anyway? We're not talking about Ocus's private thoughts.
Ocuses.
When did I get put on blast here? Oh, okay. So anyway, how about what horrible things people have done in the VTuber community? That'll take the attention off me.
No, we're not at that question yet. Are you guys ready for the next question?
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
all
sure.
right. Chat asked, do you guys like the new VTubers who make VOD-based lore content exclusively? So I'm guessing they're asking like VTubers who specifically stay in character the whole time and craft a narrative, and that is their content. Like they're doing either like drama, skits, or lore exclusively with their content.
Not particularly.
Mm.
I'm unfamiliar with this.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
not.
I haven't really seen
as
this.
well.
Yeah, it's,
You mean like they?
It's not for me. I don't mind it though. I think it's different.
yeah.
So the reason why I don't like it is because, again, as someone who'd been role playing for 20 plus years, there's way too much problems with this becoming a blur between reality and fiction for people because they're not taking method acting classes.
I
You're right.
see.
They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not taking method acting classes.
Yeah, that's an aspect I didn't think about.
That's actually is there a specific type of acting class that would be ideal for aspiring VTubers who want to do character based stuff?
Voice acting and I would say method acting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure
I know
there's
there's
stuff
like
on
100
YouTube.
different kinds. Yeah.
Method acting I would not do unless you're specifically trained in it. It can be pretty dangerous.
Oh.
Well,
If you
I
guys
never
remember
thought
the
about that, dog.
the Joker, the guy who passed away from being Joker, was a method actor.
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
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 Oh, you went. Okay, I was gonna mention Star Trek when Data became a cowboy permanently, and he ran around the ship being a cowboy. Remember that one? I was gonna say that was.
We are on
But then he
really
mentioned Heath
different
Ledger, and it kind of took the wind out of the sails.
spectrums.
I'm sorry.
It's
Oh,
fine.
Just something I like after role playing in text-based spaces.
Mm.
It's way too easy, in my opinion, for a lot of people. Especially, it's gotten really worse, I think, over the years,
Uh-huh.
where like there's some sort of lack there's some sort of lack of differentiation that is done between in character and out of character, and I think a lot of it just gets bridged and blurred over too much.
I see. Yeah, that was
Especially with your fans, because if you think about girlfriend, boyfriend experience, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, I think
Ah,
that
yeah,
might have
you're right.
been a problem with a few VTubers we've seen already.
How much of that is like method acting, and how much of it is just good old fashioned crazy?
That's what I was meaning. You don't really know unless you're taking.
Oh my gosh.
I see.
This round
Not to use
table.
the technical psychoanalytical terminology here, but they're bananas.
Let me go back to the topic.
Look at a banana split personality.
So I've seen this done really well, actually. There was this entire VTuber ARG done in Japan. I do not remember the girl's name. The girl's username was just
I know what you're talking about.
a string of like letters and numbers. So I can't even remember, but it was fantastic. As someone who's a fan of ARGs, I think it's really cool because it was like a clear, just like a YouTube series, really, I would call it, where it had a clear start, a clear end, and then it was done and she never surfaced again. Like, it was just really to tell this character's story. And you had, of course, the actor act out episodes of the story. And then once it was done, it was done. It was not live. It was done in video form, which I think would be the safest and best way to do this. Because if you have like the whole like in audience interaction and parasocialism going alongside it, it could get a little extra. But we've also seen of course, like deep lore agencies with mixed results. Sony did have a project called Verse that had an anime, well, a promised anime that never launched because it was a mixed bag, but they had an anime. And then they had the voice actors of that anime essentially debut as VTubers in character of the characters they played in the anime. And the full anime never came out, but they did break it into music videos to tell the story instead. And it honestly, I think it had potential. I think it just did not take off, so they couldn't act on that potential. But I do think that it has potential. Again, it's a niche that isn't super tapped. I've seen it done well. And of course, Shog said it can be dangerous, so be sure to like do your research if this is content you want to make. Be sure you know what you're doing before you start. So yeah. Hachima's coexist arc was also cool. Yeah, that could probably be in this category as well. And I think like
Kurakami.
I think instead of having it be like your entire VTuber career, I think having a clear start and end to the saga would be a good way to go about this for sure.
Again, I do a lot of, like I said, I do a lot of roleplay myself. I like dedicating specific streams or specific videos or shorts to it. It allows a break in character that I think is kind of needed, especially online.
Yeah. I think it's also a lot more digestible for both the audience and the actress or actor.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Do you have any tips on how to find people to collab with? I have a really lazy
Yes.
Don't
answer.
grab just anybody.
I have a really lazy answer. It's just join Discords.
Join.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them. There's one, if I'm still in it. Oh no, I'm not. But there was one that was going around that was like specifically for VTuber collabs,
Mhm.
and it was a pretty decent one.
Nice. Guess how this
no-
collab happened? I yanked
know
everyone
people.
into a Discord. This is a
Yeah,
Discord.
literally.
Yep.
But how did you collate those Discordians?
I was basically a creeper in everyone's DMs. Don't follow my advice.
You-
Don't follow my example, okay?
Really,
I got it.
legit?
I got
DMs going
invited.
around like Ash
so-
Ketchum.
I
I stuck in here. I don't know how I got invited.
Yeah, exactly.
basically I was like, hey, I like your content. Like I watch VTubers and sometimes I get recommended a new one. And I'm like, hey, I like your content. I have this Discord and you don't have to join, but it would be really cool if you joined. Yeah, and then
It's like that Asuka meme. It's like, you got a collab server? No? Well, you do now.
you're shy and afraid to reach out. Well, in that case, I would recommend like just being active in a Discord server. Don't feel like you need to reach out right away. Just be active. Like, look at what other people are chatting about and kind of like reciprocate that energy. Like, if someone's saying, hey, like, it's raining here, you can be like, oh, well, it's sunny where I am. And that can start snowballing into more interesting interactions with people. And then before you know it, you've made friends in Discord just by proximity. Like, the reason why it's so much easier to make friends in grade school, and then once you graduate, you feel like it's really hard to make friends, is specifically because you don't have any proximity acquaintances anymore. Discord essentially gives you proximity acquaintances in a lot better and more natural way than Twitter. I recommend not forming collabs through Twitter.
Not on Twitter.
Um,
No.
I feel like the nice thing about Discord is no one can see each other's numbers like on your username, like with Twitter. And I am aware my model is frozen. I'm sorry. Like with Twitter,
We saw.
the follower count matters so much for some reason, but with Discord, it's all hidden. Like, we're all just VTubers.
On Discord, you just play Marvel Rivals with people till 2 a.m. and, you know.
Twitter is not recommended
Yeah.
specifically because I feel like there's just like a baseline hostility that everyone has towards each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were if you were in a Discord server with a common interest, it's a lot easier to break the ice.
Yes. Twitter is truly the spirit of Mordor.
Yeah.
Twitter has pretty much been confirmed that the entire reason why people post is just to make hot takes and try to make money off of those hot takes. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I'd say the real tip, as in real life, you know, if you can't be handsome, be handy.
Someone says they get overwhelmed in active servers quickly. I would
I do for
recommend
sure.
finding
I
like
do all the time,
Same,
even in my
definitely
server.
same.
a mid-size Discord server. Like 30 people to 300 people is a good number to look for. That way it's active but not overwhelming.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it would work nowadays, but like a lot of the first VTubers I talked to when I started out were like talking shop more like when I was learning to rig. A lot of the early people I was talking to were just like other people that were rigging.
Yeah.
Obviously not like big, you know, people, but like a lot of conversations just start with, how'd you do that? You know, and then
Yeah.
we just we kept touch a little bit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I know.
Editing, rigging,
It's a lot-
doodling.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a lot more natural of a friendship pipeline through Discord. Like, hey, we have a common interest. We're going to talk about that. And then before you know it, we're friends. Like, that's how this friend group
Yes.
formed. Guys, you can do it too. And you don't have to be as creepy as me. You don't have to go into people's DMs. You can go, you can, you can
I
join
would even
it
say
in.
like, if you make stuff because like Yam said,
Yes.
Yam just reached out to me from seeing my video. I just made stuff. I was by myself. I was chilling,
Oh, yeah.
doing my own thing, and Yam came out saying, "Hey, I like your stuff." Then we clicked, and we here, and it's cool. And then we talked about Snake sometime. I also got a Snake now, by the way. Yam. Anyway,
Congrats!
Ah.
and then I met some other people that just asked for like editing tips, and now I'm cool with them. I've even made friends with some of the people that done fan art for me. Literally, you make stuff and people see it. Some people are extroverts and will just go to you, and then you can just be adopted like me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Adopted by
Exactly.
extroverts.
Yeah.
That's. I
One-
was about to mention. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you know, making a video on YouTube, and next thing you know, there's Yam, their blow dart, and
Yeah.
you wake up a few days later, and you're in her Discord server,
And you have one less kidney.
and it works out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna actually mention as well.
The kidney thing, yeah.
No. Well, maybe. What does a bat need a kidney for anyway? Actually, don't answer that. I was gonna say similar to make content because people reach out to you. Like I've had VTubers reach out to me, and you end up getting adopted. Basically, you're an introvert, you get adopted by an extrovert. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
static
you
returns
pull-
to me.
Yeah, if you help people figure out their compression settings, it's like pulling the thorn out of the lion's paw, you know? Like,
Yeah.
they're just-
That's too real.
The kind of the sad reality of being a content creator is, unfortunately, if you're not a high value contact, people are less enthused to talk to you. I hate that
Yeah.
that's the case, but when I was
Yeah.
Lorelei Alto and I wasn't making videos and I had 300 Twitch subscribers and that was it, people didn't talk to me. And then when I was Yam and I started making videos and I started growing overnight, suddenly the people who wouldn't talk to me and would ignore me would suddenly be like, "Hey, you want to do stuff?"
That's
And I'm like,
weird, dog.
"Oh, okay."
That's not really. Unfortunately, that's not just unique to VTubing.
Yeah.
Many areas of life will be like that.
Yeah. So do something that other people find valuable if you're trying to get people to like you. I'm sorry that it's just true. I'm sorry. I wish
Yeah.
it's brutal honesty. Okay. Someone asks how to find servers in general. I honestly find out through other like streamers. Like if you watch streamers, join their Discord. Chances are
Yeah.
their
I
Discord.
forget how I got into half the Discords I'm in.
Yeah, right.
Damn, I'm looking through them all. I'm like, dog, I don't even.
A few of them
Yeah, I
were
gotta do a
specific
clean out pretty soon.
VTubers.
Oh no, Gry, are you gonna leave my Discord server? I'm kidding.
Yours is one of the only Discord servers I type in.
I know. I feel
Careful,
so
yeah, you're
honored.
gonna-
I feel so honored.
You're gonna wake up with one less kidney again. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, if you want,
Don't
if
just
you
leave
want
a
to get
Yam
let in
server.
again, you have to pay the kidney tax.
Doesn't have to be yours, just has to be a kidney.
The telltale her calling card. You wake up and there's stitches, and they do an X-ray, and there's what but a yam where once was a kidney.
Oh my god.
I was just gonna say, yams are kind of shaped like sweet potatoes. I mean, yams are shaped like kidneys.
Oh gosh, this is such cursed lore.
Oh, it's really
Little
emergent.
do we
It's
know.
happening.
Little do we know, Yam's a mafia boss.
Oh,
I'm in cahoots with Amelie. All right. Well, guys, last chance to donate. We do have one last question, one that I asked when I donated. But you know, if you guys want to donate and have your question answered, I would say we are going to end at around accepting questions at 9 p.m. Because this bat does need to sleep at some point. So I'm gonna ask.
Laughs on East Coast.
Oh, I should probably refresh people on how to donate. We have a link to Kenny's GoFundMe. We also have the QR code in the bottom left. This these donations will go to supporting Kenny, saving him from homelessness and the really tough situation he's been in. If you guys really appreciate my channel, Kenny works a lot behind the scenes to bring things such as my merch, my thumbnails, and a lot of the advice that I am able to give on stream. So please, please support Kenny. We are still accepting questions for 10 more minutes, so here is your time to shine. Yeah. All right.
Another D's.
Here we go. Last question of the night. As my VTuber model slowly dies. I'm asking you guys best and worst moments for VTubing in 2024. This could be general, like your own experience in 2024, or it could be like the VTuber scene itself. And we can go around the whole table for this one. I'm curious. Starting with Okus again.
Okay, so like I guess for the scene in general, the best and worst would be the same thing. The beginning of the corp apocalypse, you know? There's sort of an indie renaissance. It's it's kind of disillusioning that all the big corporate interests seem to be non-viable, because that's like, that's historically been the guiding star. But on the other hand, you've seen the likes of, Doki Bird and, Mint just like coming back from the grave and just, thriving. And it's like, okay. It's different. It's scary, this brave new world. But it also shows that there's like new life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
The old order has collapsed, but there's other ways it can work.
Is Okus a robot just for me? Like, he was totally intelligible,
No,
but he
it's for
sounded...
everybody.
Okay, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
got
probably a
roboted
Discord
a
thing
little bit.
because Yam was also
I
a
think
little
so.
robot-y.
Oh,
It's
we're
a
all
Discord thing,
robots
Discord.
right now. We're all Vocaloids.
Yep.
Oh,
At least...
one thing that might happen. One thing that might help it, Yam, is if you get around to swapping the server to East Coast, Discord has issues on West Coast servers for whatever reason. We found
Okay,
out
how do I
recently.
do that?
You go to the server
It'll
setting.
Oh,
and you
server
kick
setting.
and I think everyone get kicked out. So
Oh. Sorry, everyone.
Better switch it to a Kwamanian server next time. That'll make it.
Okay.
yeah.
Server.
That way everyone will have it equally bad.
Where is that?
For my while you do tech support, I'll say my personal highlight last year was when I just, as an experiment, made a little video review about the anime about the fish harem, and that blew up. And now I have a newfound hobby of talking about obscure anime that stuck in my craw. Pun intended.
Well, your voice is not robotic anymore. So
Okay,
Nice.
it's
Okay.
good. We're just
Maybe we
gonna
just
Small
keep going with it.
miracles. Must have been the latency.
Could be.
Must have been I must have uploaded too many gigabytes to the mainframe.
It's just
Gotta reinitialize Ubuntu.
I blame Raybach. He was sucking on it.
Yeah, that's true. I was just having a little nibble, getting a little hang.
All right, yes.
I think for me, both personally and industry, and both best and worst, all packaged into one, definitely was the Selen / Doki Bird situation. Worst for all of the obvious parts about that were tragic and horrifying and yada yada. But best because on the scene side, I do really feel like that was the beginning of sort of the new era of talents feeling comfortable leaving their corporate environments and re-debuting indie. We had Case on before that, but I feel like the Doki Bird one was a lot more. I feel like it just sort of let people really feel like they maybe could do their own thing, and her whole re-debut was so good.
That was the taboo killer.
Yeah, it was definitely the taboo killer
Agreed.
of the past life thing. And then on a personal note, I had been doing a little bit of like news style, like quickie edit content. And that video about the Selenotsky termination, which I still stand by my thumbnail as a banger on that one. But like that video single-handedly monetized my YouTube channel.
Let's go.
Which is crazy and kind of makes me feel like it's not deserved sometimes.
No.
But like,
hey,
like that was a pretty big,
You want to know how I went from
personally,
500 subs to 5,000 subs? I just had a thumbnail that had Kiryu Coco next to Keitan. That's it. That's all I did.
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest videos is why the internet hates more Calliope, and I love more Calliope, so I mean,
That's
no
right,
shame in
that's
the
right.
game.
Yeah, so yeah, it was that was definitely I feel like that was like the key moment of last year.
Yeah.
For so many people.
The Corpocalypse. I can't say it right, but I'll nail it.
Corpocalypse.
Yeah, the Corpocalypse. The Corpoc. Yeah, I like that one better. Sure.
What about you, Static?
Oh man. Same with the whole Niji situation.
Oh man, yeah.
Because I think I was one of the people that covered it the quickest.
Yeah.
At the time. And in turn that helped me obviously in growth, but like it was a crazy situation.
Oh my gosh.
It was so wild, and that's when the whole argument of like, is it indie better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Surrender humanity, return to indie.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, maybe corpos ain't worth it so much, and then obviously now we see a bunch of corpos just dying.
Yeah.
Like even was V Reverie 2024?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
When that fell, that was crazy, dog. That was also
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is more of an indie situation, but the whole Kenji thing when that happened.
Oh yeah.
That was also wild.
Was that last year too? Man, that was
It
a
was.
big
Yeah, a
ass-
lot happened
Oh
last
my
year.
god, I can't even.
I watched all your
Wow.
coverage on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a weird time for me because that's when a bunch of people I didn't really think knew of me started watching my stuff, and I was like, oh god. I was like, oh no. What else? There was the whole Black VTuber Awards thing, which was a good and bad thing, depending on what side you're on.
With anything,
And then-
yeah.
And what else? I think that's kind of all I can think of for worse. Best things though, obviously all the corpo becoming either another corpo or indie, as we saw with Shoujo just scooping a bunch of people up.
Yep.
The free Shoujo auditions were crazy, even though it's like carrying over into this year. I think that was cool, even though a lot of people had weird speculations, but who was Leon Lai joining? Even though that was a completely separate thing. I'm a yeah.
And that was an eventful ass year.
Yeah, a lot happened.
It just wouldn't stop. I know.
Yeah, and then also with just like a bunch of just indies being weirdos with docs and stuff, it was odd. It was a crazy year. It was like a year of a purge almost.
Yeah.
Of just bad people, and then we learned that doesn't really matter towards the end of the year because a lot of them came back.
Yeah.
So
Well, some of them came back multiple times.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be back.
No, I'm Bach.
All right. What about
It was
you?
a good year for the indies though.
Oh yeah, it was
chopping
good.
at the bit. Yeah.
What about you, Shog?
All right, I have a few, I think, for each one. I think first for VTubing, obviously the Celine situation. But two other ones that really were bad was the VTuber art destruction. Basically, all the VTuber artists getting screwed over by Twitch because of the nudity issue from a certain person.
Oh, that was such an apocalypse. Yeah.
That was last year too. Oh my god.
Yes. And also
uh.
the YouTube demonetization and constant attacks on VTubers in general.
Oh gosh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
The worst for me personally probably was having to cover the anti-life situation.
Oh man, you
It
were
was
up
many,
like
many hours.
48 hours. Oh my gosh, I remember
Yeah.
that.
It was a very rough thing, and it kind of like pretty much aided at the end of it. And still, things that bled into Nexus are still frustrating this year, considering getting
Yeah.
accused of being a drama tuber by.
That's wild. Like if you guys, if anyone here is like curious about Nexus, please go check out Shock Mommy's channel. And search Nexus and Annie Live. Shock has been doing a great job documenting it, and unfortunately, she's getting quite a bit of like shots fired her way just for doing so. So please support her in her journalism, really.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. I mean, the good thing, and I guess going into some other things, the best thing specifically for me leads into that. A lot of the talents came to me and said that thank you for being our voice, and I think that was one of the best things for me.
Rad.
As well as reaching 2K on YouTube and getting accepted into Arium.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Yeah, fire.
thanks. And I think the best thing for VTubing, Iron Mouse and Kai Sanat's collab was, I think, one of the best things.
Oh yeah, that was
a wholesome
oh
moment
my
right
gosh,
there.
I love it. Yeah.
I think it was super important to help try to destigmatize things. On
Right.
both sides.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
A diplomatic event, if ever there was one.
Yeah.
It's like the Portsmouth Accords.
Yeah. Aw. Okay, I guess it's my turn. The best thing to happen, I don't know about VTubing, I haven't been keeping up with VTubing. The best thing to happen to me was VTuber Symphony releasing our Madoka Magica suite. 22 minutes and 48 VTubers all playing instruments or singing together in an entire symphony. It's beautiful. Please go check it out. Just type in VTuber Symphony Madoka Magica in YouTube and it'll pop right up. That was so much fun. I designed the uniforms for it, and then I coordinated the art with 12 other artists to get everyone to have a PNG tuber on screen, and then I also helped with the music video, so it was, most of my year was dedicated to that one project. Worst thing to happen in 2024 was honestly working for VTuber agencies. Was so
that
bad.
ties into what we've all been talking about.
Yeah, I was working on VTuber agency. Like I was working in several VTuber agencies. I think a total of 3 in 2024, and each and every one of them has now collapsed. Each and every one of them is gone. They're gone, baby. And there was
See what happens when you cross Yam?
yeah, so
Walking in slow motion.
I quit every single one of them. I was never fired. I quit because mentally, like before meetings, I was like, I couldn't breathe. I was like crying. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. But yeah, my NDA expires in December, guys.
Ooh.
And oh boy, do I have documents. Oh no.
And then, boy, oh boy, will there be some golfing streams at long last. Because it'll be tea time.
Yeah.
December
Can I interview for
2025, yeah.
Can I interview for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, I might be interested in something.
Please, please, everyone, invite me to your channels. I can't wait.
Please.
I cannot wait to have Fury on with receipts. Oh gosh, it's coming, and then
Dang.
don't work for agencies that you don't know are good.
It's a whole spice rack. There's so much coming.
But yeah, it literally burnt me out. The reason I didn't upload much in 2024 was because of how bad it was working for agencies. As a manager, I was not a talent. I was only a manager. It was so bad. So yeah, that was my 2024 wrapped. What about you, Kenny? You want to go next?
Yeah, I don't have a really special answer here. I think really it would be just the Niji thing. 'Cause I think that was at the peak of my involvement in the Twitter discourse, I would say, this year.
You
Or
were in
last
the
year, rather.
trenches.
I was in the trenches during that whole thing, so that'd probably be the worst moment. For the best, I would say probably I've been really enjoying the latest debuts from Hololive, especially the third gen of English.
Yeah.
And Evo, Fuumoko, all the new debuts have been really great. I've been loving GG. So I would probably say that's been something that sort of re-sparked my interest in watching a lot of them. Was watching the new debuts and seeing all the new stuff that's been coming out with them.
Yeah.
At least someone's still like doing well.
Yeah.
Hololive has been our only hope.
Oh yeah. Man, I will say that I definitely got some reignited passion for Hololive with Gen 3 and especially Fuumoko. They're like the big Korone energy times 2. And then you have like the extra cuteness. Fuumoko, man, they're just they're entertainers. And then of course, Bibu. Bibu's supremacy, that's all I have to say. So
how about Evergreen?
I love Cecilia Evergreen. Oh gosh, are we getting like full fangirl? Yeah.
I just imagined you'd have something to say about that treble clef skirt and the key in the head design.
Oh my gosh, peak design! Peak design.
I just wanted you wound up a little.
All I'm saying is I auditioned for Hololive trying to convince them that Viola Idol was the future. And they eventually took a violinist, and I'm like, you know what? Good enough. It's not as good as Viola, but it's good enough.
And baby steps.
Baby steps. Eventually they'll have the whole hollow quartet. They'll have gosh. They'll have cello and violin. We need another violin and a violist. Then you got a full quartet, and it'll be beautiful. Sorry, Kenny. It was your turn.
No, you're good. I didn't have much to say. Those were probably the two biggest things for me.
Okay. What about you, Pandora?
At one point, I kind of turned off 2024.
Yeah.
And that's the bad part is like I used to watch a lot of the drama tubers, the news tubers, and I thought I had to have those on for content relations.
Yeah.
Because that way I know what's happening, what's new, what's going on, what I might want to cover or have something to add to it.
Yep.
But it came to a certain head to where it was weaponized. Because
Yes.
I saw
For
it
sure,
be
for sure.
used against somebody, and that's where I'm just like, how are they getting away with this? Why am I watching this and contributing to it?
Oh gosh.
It was just too much. I muted everybody, offenders and non-offenders alike for that particular situation, and it was kind of a good thing because my mental health went up. I'm not as in touch with stuff. That's why I say my 2024 kind of turned off in that regard.
Yeah.
But that was my best and kind of a good thing my worst and kind of a good thing at the same time. But yeah. And also some of my videos took off. I was really surprised at that. I thought I'm pretty small, not quite monetized, but like one of mine has like 10K.
I
I'm
know,
like, what?
because you deserve it, Pandora. Pandora, you've been working so hard. No, I'm serious. You've been working so hard, and you've got such a unique angle. Like some of the videos you make, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm in love with your content. Please don't stop. Yeah.
I don't plan to. I have a roadmap and so many ideas that I had to go back and reorganize them, and my Google Doc is overflowing.
I'm
Oh,
so
wow.
excited. I'm so excited for you. Yeah. Pandora love
Appreciate
here.
I don't.
Yeah. In fact,
Probably
I
a
think
good thing you turned off 2024.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
met
very happy after hearing
Sure.
everybody else's reasons.
Me and Kenny got put on a list, dog.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Wait, I remember
Me and
that.
Kenny got
That's
put on a
right.
list. Crazy, dog.
Kitty donation list.
Yeah, no,
No.
other than Yam's lists.
I
It's
forgot
funny,
about
though.
that
I was
static. Oh my
laughing.
god.
Yeah, we
That's
got
pretty
put on the list. So did Toledo. Toledo was on the list too. I was like,
Oh,
dog, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys
I
got
haven't been put on any lists. Look at that. Now I'm feeling left out.
okay.
It was during the whole Niji Sanji debacle. And
Yeah.
I don't even know why Toledo
Yeah.
was on there because he's not. He's
Oh.
he doesn't talk. So it's like, what?
You
It was
know,
weird.
we keep bringing up the Niji thing, but incidentally, it's Doki's anniversary today, isn't it? Like the stream.
I believe
Yeah, it is.
So, I believe, yeah.
Wow,
Wow,
that's some Ichigo Ichie. It's some feng shui, you know. It's some, it's like the calendar's lining up just right.
I am the worst host. I did not put your guys' links in chat. I just chat just let me know. So if you guys want to hand me
I just Google Okus, you'll find it.
Oh gosh, yeah, Google Okus Coyote, Google Greybach, Google Static Tokyo. I'm so sorry. You know, Kinesu.
Crybach, make sure you put VTuber in there because
Oh,
it has to do with
VTuber,
computer
yeah.
science, and nobody's gonna know what the hell that is.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
Um,
me.
guess
It's
you could just
me.
put your link in.
You can put your link in too. And if you are on like the VOD, sorry, if you're a VOD watcher, by the way, you can still donate to Kenny's Ko-Fi. And if you show me a receipt, I will answer your question in Discord. But also, like, if you're watching the VOD, I will have links to everyone in the description already because I'm good like that. I'm just bad at live. I'm bad at live.
I'm just bad at life.
Yeah. So
Based,
relatable. Came
understandable.
for the answer, stayed
Yeah.
for the scuff. You know what? That sums up the Bat Bunch experience here. You guys, you might come for educational content, but it's 90% scuff and 10% education. Yeah. Everyone's putting their links in chat, or at least your usernames.
Oh.
Thank you,
I-
everyone.
okay, yeah.
Follow everyone here. We do have one last bonus question for the very last donor tonight, and I'm just gonna kind of use it to wrap up, especially because it is almost my bedtime. My bedtime's 9:30. I'm such a grandma, I know.
Yeah, it's pushing 12 over here.
Yeah. We've got our last question here. It's asking, I want to establish connection and aid, if at all, on both model and rigging and equipment that is more up to date than looking up tutorials that could be from years ago. Okay, first of all, join the Live 2D Discord. That is your best resource. I know that sounds like hokey advice, but that's how I learned how to rig my models, was go to the Live 2D Discord. They are happy to help, and if you just sit in there with sharing your screen with Live 2D, guaranteed someone's gonna come in and they're gonna help you rig. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Such a good community, and that will be the most up to date because, of course, it's very it's someone with current knowledge. Yeah. So with models, I would recommend, if you're thinking of either making your model or starting as a VTuber, first of all, you should look on Booth and look for free models that might actually help you start as a VTuber while you're working on your own model. I really wish I was able to do that. If not, use ViadoTube Mini and draw yourself a PNG while you figure it out so that you can start streaming or making videos, whatever you want, in order to start. Because if you make a big fancy model but you do not have streaming experience, it's going to be kind of a bummer when you start, because you're going to be like, I've got this big fancy model that I worked 6 months on, but I don't even know if I like streaming, and I'm bad at streaming, so I don't... So you might be more inclined to give up. And So yeah, if you ease into streaming while you're making your model, that's going to be the best for you. That's all I have to say. Okay.
Kira Omori has some good evergreen tips too.
Oh yeah,
Always
Kira
recommend
Omori. Let's go. Yeah. But yeah, good luck to starting as a VTuber. You're welcome to join my Discord as well. Link in the description probably. I'm so
Say
bad
it with
at
confidence.
this. I'm so bad at this. But yeah, we're happy to help in my Discord, and the Live 2D Discord is always there to help you. So yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for supporting Kenny. Even though the live
Really
stream is
appreciate it,
ending,
yeah.
that does not mean the support needs to end. Feel free, again, to just send your receipt in my Discord, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. If you are interested in getting an in-depth answer from the Yam Albat, I guess. But yeah, thank you everyone who has supported. Thank you all of our guests who definitely made this possible. If I was just answering these on my own, it would not have been as well-rounded of answers. You would have just gotten the Yam experience. But we have, you know, all these creators with all these different experiences, which was very, very helpful to answer these questions. Thank you to the audience, and thank you to the donors. Every little cent really, really will take some stress off of Kenny right now. Again, please follow everyone who is in chat, but also like Kenny's at is in the description, not the description, the title. So if you just want to subscribe there and watch a few of his videos, he mentioned the Why Everyone Hates Mori Calliope video. That's one of his best. So I highly recommend that one if you are like a Hololive fan who wants to know more about like the Mori Calliope situation and why she might get more hate than the other girls. I always find it really interesting. As a can I call myself a deadbeat anymore? I'm not sure. I listen to her music, okay?
Yeah.
That counts.
That counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
That counts.
But yeah, thank you everybody so much for tuning in. We are gonna end on YouTube and then we're gonna raid out on Twitch. So YouTube, as always, take care, Bat Bunch. Is anyone live on Twitch still? Let's see.
I can think of one person you could raid. I have a friend.